My mother-in-law used her emergency key to move her things into our guest room while we were on our honeymoon. We returned from Bali to find her makeup scattered across the bathroom counter, her clothes hanging in the closet, and her orthopedic pillow on the bed. The guest room we'd just finished painting, the room that was supposed to become a nursery someday. Just temporary, she said cheerfully when we confronted her, not even looking up from arranging her prescription bottles on our kitchen table. My condo flooded. You wouldn't want me in a hotel, would you? The flood was real. I'd seen the photos. But her sister lived 20 minutes away with a spare bedroom. My parents had offered their guest house. She had options. She chose us. Week 1, I tried being understanding. Flooded homes are traumatic. Insurance paperwork takes time. But Diane wasn't looking at apartments or calling contractors. She was reorganizing our kitchen, rearranging our furniture, and asking when we'd be giving her grandchildren. My eggs are still fresh from the honeymoon, I joked to my husband Trevor one night. He didn't laugh. She'll be gone soon, he promised. Just be patient. Week 3, Diane started cooking dinner every night. Sounds nice until you realize she'd throw out the groceries I'd bought, insisting her recipes were better. She'd wait up for Trevor to come home from work, patting the couch beside her like he was still 12. One evening, I found her in our bedroom, holding the lingerie I'd bought for the honeymoon. These seem awfully impractical, she said, shaking her head. No wonder you're not pregnant yet. Get out, I said quietly. Excuse me? Get out of my bedroom. She clutched her chest like I'd struck her. I was just trying to help you understand what Trevor really likes. That night, I told Trevor she needed to leave. He sighed, exhausted. Where's she going to go? Her place won't be ready for another month. Your aunts, my parents, a hotel. I don't care. You're being unreasonable, he said. She's my mother. Something in his voice made my blood run cold. She's my mother. Not, I know this is hard. Not, let me talk to her. Just automatic defense. The next morning, I called my dad. By noon, I'd moved my essentials into my childhood bedroom. I texted Trevor. I'm staying at my parents until your mother leaves. Not negotiable. His response came an hour later. You're really going to abandon our marriage over this? Abandon. As if I'd left him. Not his mother's invasion. Day 4 at my parents' house. Trevor's sister called me. I heard you moved out, she said carefully. Look, I need to tell you something about Diane. She did this to me too. Moved in right after our wedding. Stayed for 11 months. By the end, my husband couldn't make a decision without checking with her first. We're divorced now. My stomach dropped. Why didn't you warn me? Would you have believed me? Or would Trevor have convinced you I was just bitter? I thought about the past 3 weeks. How Trevor had started asking his mother's opinion on everything from what groceries to buy to which car insurance we should switch to. How he'd stopped kissing me goodnight, but never missed his mother's forehead kiss before bed. What do I do? I whispered. You set a boundary, right now, or you'll spend your marriage coming in second place. That night I drove home. Diane was watching TV in our living room, feet up on our coffee table. Trevor was beside her, scrolling his phone. We need to talk, I said. Diane stood up. Oh good, you've come to apologize. Sit down, I told her. My voice didn't shake. You're leaving tomorrow. I've called your sister. You're staying with her. Trevor? Diane turned to her son, eyes wide with betrayal. He looked between us, trapped. Choose, I said to him, heart pounding hard. Right now, me or her. The silence stretched for 15 seconds. I counted. Trevor's face went pale. This is insane, he said. You can't make me choose between my wife and my mother. I'm not making you choose, I said. I'm telling you the reality. Either she leaves tomorrow, or I file for divorce on Monday. Diane gasped. Actually gasped. Hand to chest. The whole performance. You would threaten divorce over me staying here temporarily? Trevor, do you hear this? Mom, Trevor said, but his voice was weak. I raised you better than this, Diane continued. I raised you to respect family, to take care of your mother when she needs you. Your mother has a sister with a 4-bedroom house, I said. She has friends. She has resources. What she doesn't have is the right to live in my home without my consent. Trevor stood up. Can we talk about this privately? No, I said, because every private conversation we've had about this has ended with you promising she'll leave soon. It's been 3 weeks. Her condo repairs were estimated at 2 weeks maximum. I called her insurance company. His eyes widened. You did what? I called her insurance company, pretended to be her. The repairs were finished 5 days ago. The place has been ready for her to move back for almost a week. The room went dead silent. Diane's face transformed. The helpless mother act vanished. You had no right to do that. And you had no right to lie, I said. Your condo is ready. You've been staying here because you want to, not because you need to. Trevor turned to his mother. Is that true? I was going to tell you, Diane said quickly. I thought maybe we could discuss me staying here permanently. You have the space. I'm getting older. I shouldn't be living alone. There it was. The real plan. Did you even ask us? Trevor said, and for the first time I heard doubt in his voice. I was going to, Diane said, but she's been so hostile from the start. I knew she'd say no. Because it's insane, I said. You're 58 years old. You're healthy. You have your own home. You don't need to live with us. I'm his mother, Diane said, voice rising. I gave birth to him. I raised him alone after his father died. You deserve respect. I interrupted. You deserve visits and family dinners and phone calls. You don't deserve to take over our home without asking. Trevor sat back down, head in his hands. Trevor, Diane said, softer now. Honey, you understand, don't you? After your father died, it was just us. We've always taken care of each other. And there it was. The manipulation I'd been watching for weeks. Using his dead father as leverage. Your father died when Trevor was 17, I said quietly. 11 years ago. He's not a child anymore. I know that, Diane snapped. Do you? I asked. Because you still pat the couch for him to sit beside you. You still call him honey and sweetie like he's 12. You still make all his favorite childhood meals and talk about how close you two have always been. What's wrong with being close to my son? Nothing, I said. Until it becomes enmeshment. Until he can't make a decision without checking with you first. Until his wife comes second. Trevor's head came up. That's not— It is, I said, and my voice cracked. Trevor, you asked your mother which car insurance we should get. You asked her opinion on what color we should paint the bathroom. You told her about our plans to try for a baby before you told me you were ready. His face went red. You told her? I said. About us trying for a baby? She asked. He said weakly. She's been asking me every day when we're giving her grandchildren. I said. I thought it was just her being pushy. I didn't realize you two had actually discussed it. Diane smiled. Of course we discussed it. I'm going to be a grandmother. I have a right to— You have no rights to our reproductive choices. I said, voice hard. None. That's between me and Trevor, not you. I'm just excited, Diane said, but her eyes had gone cold. You told her we were waiting, I said to Trevor. Didn't you? You told her I wanted to wait another year. He didn't answer. And she's been on my case ever since, I said. Asking when we'll give her grandchildren, making comments about my age, about my eggs, about how I should hurry up before it's too late. I'm just concerned, Diane said. You're manipulating, I said. And it stops now. I turned back to Trevor. I'm going to bed. When I wake up tomorrow morning, your mother needs to be gone. If she's still here, I'm packing my things and going back to my parents' house. And I'm not coming back. You can't just— Diane started. I can, I said. This is my house too. I pay half the mortgage. I have just as much say as Trevor does. And I say you leave. I walked to our bedroom and locked the door. I didn't sleep. I heard them talking in low voices for hours. At one point, Diane's voice rose, and Trevor hushed her. Around 2 a.m., I heard footsteps in the hallway. The guest room door closed. At 6 a.m., I heard movement, suitcases being zipped, the front door opening and closing, a car starting. I waited another hour before unlocking the bedroom door. The house was quiet. Trevor sat at the kitchen table, coffee mug in his hands, looking like he hadn't slept either. She's gone, he said. Good. She's staying with my aunt. For now. Okay. She's really upset. I imagine so. He looked up at me. That was brutal. What you said to her. It was honest. You made her sound like some kind of villain. She lied about her condo being ready, I said. She threw out my groceries. She went through my underwear drawer. She tried to control when we have children. What would you call that? She's just— He trailed off. Overbearing? Controlling? Boundary crossing? She's lonely, he said. Since Dad died, she's been alone. I'm all she has. That's not your fault, I said. And it's not your responsibility to fill the void your father left. I know that. Do you? He stood up, angry now. What do you want me to say? That my mother is a terrible person? That she's been trying to ruin our marriage? I want you to say that you see what she's been doing, I said. I want you to say that you understand why I couldn't live like that. I get that it was hard. Hard? I laughed, and it came out bitter. Trevor, I moved out. I left our home because your mother made it uninhabitable, and you didn't even try to stop her. I thought you were overreacting, because she told you I was. He flinched. Every time I complained to you, I said, you'd talk to her, and she'd tell you I was being dramatic, being unreasonable, being jealous of your relationship, and you believed her. She's my mother, and I'm your wife, I said. When did that start meaning less? He didn't answer. I poured myself coffee, hands shaking. Your sister told me something about what happened with her marriage. What? That your mother did the same thing to her. Moved in after her wedding. Stayed for 11 months. Convinced her husband to check every decision with her first. They're divorced now. Trevor's face went white. Olivia told you that? She wanted to warn me, I said. She said she didn't warn me before because she knew you'd convince me she was just bitter. That was different, Trevor said. Olivia's husband was an alcoholic. Mom was trying to help. Or maybe, I said, your mother saw a marriage she could control, and she took the opportunity. That's a horrible thing to say. Is it? I asked. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like a pattern. She moves in, she takes over, she drives a wedge between the couple, and when it falls apart, she gets to keep her son all to herself. You think my mother sabotaged Olivia's marriage? I think your mother doesn't want to share you, I said. I think she's been alone since your father died. And instead of building her own life, she's tried to live through you. Trevor sat back down heavily. I talked to a therapist, I said, while I was at my parents' house, about enmeshment, about emotional incest. His head snapped up. What? Emotional incest, I repeated. When a parent treats their child like a partner, confides in them inappropriately, depends on them for emotional support that should come from other adults, makes them feel responsible for the parent's happiness. That's not— You told me once that after your dad died, your mother would come sleep in your bed because she was too sad to be alone. You were 17. She was grieving. She was putting you in the position of being her emotional husband, I said. You were a kid. You shouldn't have been responsible for comforting your mother through her grief. What was I supposed to do? Let her cry alone? Yes, I said. Or she should have gone to therapy, or leaned on her friends, or her sister. Not her teenage son. Trevor's hands were shaking now. You told me that she'd call you at college every night, I continued. Sometimes multiple times a day. That she'd cry if you didn't answer. That you felt guilty for being away at school because she was alone. She needed me. She was guilting you, I said. Making you feel responsible for her emotional well-being. That's not healthy. That's manipulation. Stop, Trevor said. Just stop. I can't, I said. Because this is our marriage. And if we don't talk about this now, we're going to end up like Olivia and her husband. Divorced. Because your mother will always come first. That's not fair. Isn't it? I asked. Last night, when I asked you to choose, you hesitated. You actually hesitated. It's not that simple. It is that simple, I said. When you get married, your spouse becomes your primary family. Your parents become secondary. That's how it works. That's how healthy marriages work. I can't just abandon my mother. I'm not asking you to, I said. I'm asking you to set boundaries. To put our marriage first. To stop letting her control our lives. He stared into his coffee. Your mother has her own life, I said. Her own home, her own friends. She doesn't need to live with us. She doesn't need to be involved in every decision we make. She doesn't need daily updates on our marriage, our plans, our lives. She's going to be upset if I pull back. Probably, I said. And that's okay. Her being upset doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're doing something different than what she wants. Trevor was quiet for a long time. I don't know how to do this, he finally said. Do what? Set boundaries with her. She'll cry. She'll say I'm abandoning her, that I don't love her anymore. And you'll tell her that's not true, I said. That you love her but you're married now. That your priorities have changed. That she needs to respect your marriage. She won't like that. She doesn't have to, I said. This isn't about making her happy. This is about building a healthy relationship with her. One where she's your mother, not your partner. He looked up at me, eyes red. I'm sorry, he said. I should have stood up for you sooner. Yeah, I said. You should have. I didn't see it. What she was doing. I know. She's always been like this, he said. After Dad died, it was just the two of us. She'd tell me everything. About her day, about her problems, about her loneliness. I thought I was being a good son by listening. You were being a parentified child, I said. And that wasn't your fault. You were just doing what you thought you had to do. But I'm an adult now, he said. I should have recognized. Yes, I said. You should have. But we're here now. And we can either fix this, or we can let it destroy us. He reached for my hand. I choose you. You hesitated, I said, pulling back. Last night, when I asked you to choose, you hesitated. I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. You should have said my wife immediately, I said. Without thinking, without hesitating. That's what married people do. I'm sorry. I know, I said. But sorry isn't enough. I need to see change. Real change. What do you want me to do? Therapy, I said. Both of us. Together. And you, individually. To work through the enmeshment issues. Okay. And boundaries with your mother, I said. Real boundaries. No more daily phone calls. No more discussing our private life with her. No more asking her opinion on our decisions. She'll think I hate her. Then you'll have to live with that, I said. Because the alternative is losing your marriage. He nodded slowly. And if she ever uses her emergency key again, I said, I'm changing the locks. That key is for emergencies only, not for letting herself in whenever she wants. I'll get it back from her. Good. We sat in silence, drinking coffee, exhausted. I love you, Trevor said. I know I didn't show it these past few weeks, but I do. I love you too, I said. But love isn't enough if you're not willing to prioritize our marriage. I will, he said. I promise. I'm going to hold you to that. The next week was hard. Trevor called his mother to set boundaries. She cried, just like he'd predicted. Said he was choosing his wife over his own mother, that she'd sacrificed everything for him after his father died, and this was how he repaid her. I'm not choosing between you, he told her, with me sitting beside him on speaker. I'm setting healthy boundaries. I'm married now. My wife comes first. That's how it should be. She's turning you against me, Diane said, voice cold. No one's turning me against anyone, Trevor said. I'm making my own decisions. This is her idea, Diane insisted. She's controlling you. Diane, I said, speaking for the first time. Trevor is an adult. He's capable of making his own decisions. You stay out of this, Diane snapped. This is between me and my son. No, Trevor said firmly. This involves all of us. And you need to accept that I'm setting boundaries. What kind of boundaries? Phone calls twice a week, Trevor said. Sunday evenings and Wednesday afternoons. No more daily check-ins. You can't be serious. And no more discussing our private life, Trevor continued. No questions about when we're having kids. No comments about our finances or our decisions. That's between us. I'm your mother. I have a right. You don't, Trevor said. You have the right to be treated with respect. You don't have the right to control our lives. Diane went quiet. And the emergency key, Trevor said. I need it back. What if there's an emergency? Then you call 911 like everyone else, Trevor said. You're really going to do this to me? Diane asked, voice shaking. After everything I've done for you? I'm not doing anything to you, Trevor said. I'm setting healthy boundaries so we can have a good relationship. This isn't a good relationship, Diane said. This is you pushing me away. If you can't accept these boundaries, Trevor said, then we'll need to take some space. No contact for a month while you adjust. A month? Diane's voice rose. You want to cut off contact with your own mother for a month? Only if you can't respect the boundaries, Trevor said. This is your choice. The line went dead. She'd hung up. Trevor looked at me, face pale. That was harder than I thought. I'm proud of you, I said. She's going to hate me. Maybe for a while, I said. But eventually she'll either accept the boundaries or she won't. Either way, you did the right thing. 2 days later, Diane's sister called. I don't know what you said to Diane, she said. But she's been crying nonstop. She says Trevor's cutting her out of his life. That's not what's happening, I said. We're setting boundaries. She says you're controlling him. We're married, I said. We make decisions together. That's how marriage works. Trevor's aunt sighed. Look, I know Diane can be a lot. She did the same thing to Olivia. Moved in, took over, drove them apart. I kept my mouth shut because she's my sister, but I was glad when you made her leave. Why didn't you say something before? I asked. Would you have believed me? Or would Diane have convinced you I was jealous? Same thing Olivia had said. Diane has always been this way, her sister continued. Even before her husband died, she wanted to be the center of attention, the most important person in Trevor's life. When he got engaged to you, she was furious. She called me crying, saying you were stealing her son. My stomach turned. She said that? She'd been planning to move in with him after the wedding, his aunt said. She thought it was natural, that you two would live together, and she'd be part of your household. She was shocked when he said no. She asked him? Before he proposed to you, his aunt said. She told him that when he got married, she expected to live with him and his wife, that it was normal in many cultures for parents to live with their adult children. What did Trevor say? He said he'd have to ask you first, his aunt said. Diane took that as a maybe. That's why she was so upset when you two bought a house without a mother-in-law suite. I remember that argument. We'd looked at a house with a separate entrance and small apartment attached. Diane had loved it. Trevor had been weirdly insistent we see it. I'd said no, I didn't want to be landlords. Now I understood. It wasn't about being landlords. It was about Diane moving in. Thank you for telling me, I said. Diane needs to learn that she can't control everyone, his aunt said. Maybe this will be good for her. Teach her to build her own life instead of living through her son. Maybe. And if she doesn't learn, his aunt said, then at least you'll have clear boundaries. Some people never change. You just have to decide what you're willing to tolerate. That conversation stuck with me. The idea that Diane had been planning this from the beginning, that the flood had been an opportunity, not a crisis. I called the insurance company again. This time I asked different questions. The flood had been real, but minor, minimal damage. The repairs were covered and completed within 10 days. The place had been habitable for 2 weeks before Diane had moved into our guest room. She'd lied from the start. I showed Trevor the documentation. He stared at it for a long time. She planned this, he said. Yes. She waited until we were gone on our honeymoon, used the emergency key, moved in while we couldn't stop her. Yes. And then she lied about how long repairs would take. Yes. He looked up at me, eyes filled with something I couldn't quite read. Betrayal maybe. Or grief. My mother is manipulative. Yes. I didn't want to see it. I know. She raised me to think this was normal, he said. That we were just close. That it was healthy for a mother and son to be best friends. It's not your fault, I said. You were conditioned to accept this. But I'm an adult now, he said. I should have recognized it. You're recognizing it now, I said. That's what matters. He pulled me close. I'm sorry for not believing you, for making you move out, for hesitating when you asked me to choose. I know. I'm going to do better. I believe you. We started therapy the next week. Both couples counseling and individual sessions for Trevor. The therapist confirmed what I'd researched. Emotional enmeshment, parentification, codependency. Trevor had been trained since childhood to be responsible for his mother's happiness. She used to tell me I was the man of the house after Dad died, Trevor said in one session, that I needed to take care of her, that it was just the two of us against the world. How did that make you feel? The therapist asked. Proud, Trevor said. Like I was important, like I had a purpose. And scared, he added after a moment. Because I was 17. I didn't know how to take care of anyone. That's a lot of pressure for a teenager, the therapist said. I thought it meant she trusted me. She was using you, the therapist said gently. Putting adult responsibilities on a child, that's not trust. That's parentification. Trevor cried in that session, really cried, for the childhood he'd lost, for the burden he'd carried, for the realization that his mother's love had come with strings attached. Diane didn't take the boundaries well. She called Trevor's phone 37 times in one day. When he didn't answer, she showed up at his work. Security had to escort her out. She texted me, "You've stolen my son." I didn't respond. She texted again, "You're going to regret this." I screenshotted that one and saved it. She called my parents' house, crying to my mother about how I destroyed her relationship with Trevor. My mother, bless her, said, "If your son chose his wife over you, maybe you should ask yourself why." Diane showed up at our house one evening. Trevor had been prepared. He didn't let her in. They talked on the front porch while I watched from the living room window. "Why are you doing this to me?" Diane asked. "I'm not doing anything to you," Trevor said. "I'm setting boundaries. You never needed boundaries before." "Because I didn't know I was allowed to have them," Trevor said. "I'm your mother. And I love you," Trevor said. "But I'm married now. My wife is my priority. She's controlling you." "She's not," Trevor said. "I'm making my own choices. Choices I should have made years ago. You're breaking my heart." "I'm sorry you feel that way," Trevor said. "But these boundaries aren't negotiable." Diane tried a different approach. "I'm lonely, Trevor. So lonely. Can't you just call me more often? Just to talk?" "Twice a week," Trevor said. "Sundays and Wednesdays. That's the boundary." "What if I need you?" "Then you call your sister, or your friends, or your therapist." "I'm not going to therapy." "Then you're choosing to stay stuck," Trevor said. "That's your decision. But I can't fix your loneliness. That's not my job." She stared at him. "You've changed." "I've grown up," Trevor said. "She's changed you." "No," Trevor said. "She helped me see what was wrong, but I'm the one choosing to change." Diane left without another word. Trevor came inside, shaking. "That was awful." "I know." She looked so hurt. "She's been hurting you for years," I said, "by making you responsible for her happiness. This is just the first time she's experiencing consequences. It doesn't feel good." "It's not supposed to," I said. "Growth is hard, but necessary." 3 weeks into the boundaries, Diane called Trevor on a Thursday. Not Sunday, not Wednesday. He didn't answer. She left a voicemail. "Your uncle had a heart attack. He's in the hospital. I need you." Trevor listened to it, pale-faced. "I have to go. Call your aunt first." I said, "Verify it's real." He looked at me, shocked. "You think she's lying?" "I think she's desperate," I said. "And desperate people do desperate things." He called his aunt, who had no idea what he was talking about. His uncle was fine, playing golf. Trevor sat down hard on the couch. "She lied about my uncle having a heart attack, to get you to call her on a non-boundary day. That's..." He couldn't finish. "Manipulative," I said. "Cruel. Wrong." He called his mother. Uncle David is fine, he said. I called his wife. He's playing golf. Silence on the other end. You lied about him having a heart attack, Trevor said. To get me to call you. I just wanted to talk to you, Diane said quietly. So you lied about a medical emergency. You won't talk to me otherwise. Because you won't respect the boundaries, Trevor said. And now you've proven that I was right to set them. This is manipulation. This is wrong. Trevor, please. I'm hanging up now, Trevor said. And I'm blocking your number for a month. When I unblock it, if you can respect the boundaries, we'll try again. If not, I'm done. You can't do this to me. I can, Trevor said. And I am. Goodbye. He hung up, blocked her number, then burst into tears. I held him while he sobbed. For his mother, for himself, for the relationship they'd never really had because she'd never let him grow up. The next month was peaceful, quiet. We had dinner together without anyone calling multiple times. We made decisions without outside input. We painted the guest room blue, preparing for the future we wanted. When the month ended, Trevor unblocked his mother's number. She called immediately. Are you ready to respect my boundaries? Trevor asked. Yes, Diane said, small voice, defeated. Twice a week. No discussing our private life. No emergency key. No unannounced visits. I understand. If you break these boundaries, Trevor said, I'll cut contact again, for longer next time. I understand, she repeated. They talked for 15 minutes. Stilted conversation. Surface level, but civil. When Trevor hung up, he looked relieved. She might actually do it. Maybe, I said. You don't sound convinced. I want to believe she'll change, I said. But people like your mother rarely change unless they get therapy. They just find new ways to manipulate. I'm keeping the boundaries regardless, Trevor said. Even if she tries. Good. For 2 months, Diane behaved. She called on Sundays and Wednesdays, kept conversations light, didn't push, didn't pry. Then I got pregnant. We waited until I was 12 weeks to tell anyone. We told my parents first. They cried happy tears, hugged us both, and immediately started planning a nursery renovation in their guest room for visits. We told Trevor's sister Olivia next. She was thrilled. I'm so happy for you, she said, and I'm glad you set boundaries with Mom first. She would have made this pregnancy hell. Then came the hard part, telling Diane. Trevor called her on a Sunday, put her on speaker. Mom, I have news, Trevor said. We're having a baby. She's 12 weeks along. Silence. Then, 12 weeks? You waited 12 weeks to tell me? We wanted to wait until we were past the first trimester, Trevor said. I'm the grandmother, Diane said, voice rising. I should have been the first to know. Our parents were the first to know, Trevor said. I'm your mother. And you're the third person we told, Trevor said. Right after both sets of parents. I should have been first, Diane said. Before anyone. That's not how we chose to do it, Trevor said. When is she due? Diane asked, switching tactics. November. I'll move in before the due date, Diane said, to help with the baby. New mothers need their mother-in-law there for support. My blood ran cold. No, Trevor said firmly. You won't be moving in, but you'll need help. We'll figure it out, Trevor said. Just us. That's ridiculous. I can help with night feedings, cooking, cleaning. No, Trevor repeated. We appreciate the offer, but we want to do this as a family. Just the three of us. I'm family, Diane said, voice hard now. You're extended family, Trevor said. You can visit, but you're not living here. You're making a mistake. It's our mistake to make, Trevor said. She's controlling you again, Diane said. She doesn't want me around the baby. This was my decision, Trevor said. Not hers, mine. I don't believe that. Believe what you want, Trevor said. But the decision stands. You're not moving in. Diane started crying. I just want to be a grandmother. To know my grandchild. You're going to keep me away. We're not keeping you away, Trevor said. You can visit. You can babysit. You can be as involved as you want, within our boundaries. But you're not living here. This isn't fair. Life isn't fair, Trevor said. But these are our boundaries. Accept them or don't. Your choice. She hung up on him. That went well, I said dryly. She'll get over it, Trevor said. But he didn't sound convinced. She didn't get over it. Diane started a campaign. She called Trevor's aunt, his sister, my parents, our friends, told everyone that I was keeping her from her grandchild, that I was controlling Trevor, that she was being unfairly excluded from the pregnancy. Most people saw through it. My mother told her to stop calling. Trevor's aunt told her she was embarrassing herself. Olivia blocked her number. But some people believed her. Trevor's cousin called, concerned. Is everything okay? Mom said you're not letting Diane see the baby. That's not true, Trevor said. We're just not letting her move in. Oh, his cousin said. That's... wow. She's telling everyone you're cutting her out completely. She's lying. I figured, his cousin said. She did the same thing with Olivia. But other people are believing her. Great. Now we had to deal with extended family thinking we were cruel. Trevor posted on social media. A simple statement. We're excited about our growing family. My mother is welcome to visit and be involved within healthy boundaries. Anyone who claims otherwise is spreading misinformation. Diane lost her mind. Called him immediately. Boundaries forgotten. How dare you call me a liar publicly, she said. You are a liar, Trevor said calmly. You told people we're cutting you out. That's not true. You won't let me live with you. That's a boundary, not cutting you out, Trevor said. You're welcome to visit. To be a grandmother. Just not to live here. It's the same thing. It's really not. She hung up again. The harassment got worse. She started driving by our house. Sometimes she'd sit in her car outside just watching. Trevor called the police for a wellness check. They talked to her, told her to stop. She cried, told them she was worried about her pregnant daughter-in-law, just wanted to make sure we were okay. The police officer looked at Trevor. Is your mother a danger to anyone? Not physically, Trevor said, but she's not respecting our boundaries. Tell her to stop coming by, the officer said. If she continues, you can file for a restraining order. Trevor told her. She cried, said he was treating her like a criminal, that she'd never felt so betrayed. Then stop driving by our house, Trevor said. Respect our boundaries. She didn't drive by again, but she found other ways. She sent gifts. Baby clothes, toys, books, all sent to our house with notes. For my grandbaby, love, grandma. Trevor donated everything to charity. She tried joining my prenatal yoga class. The instructor called me, uncomfortable. Someone claiming to be the baby's grandmother signed up. She said you invited her? I didn't. I said, please don't let her in. I won't, the instructor said, but she seemed very insistent. She tried friending my coworkers on social media, tried joining the new moms group I'd found online, tried calling my obstetrician to get information about the pregnancy. HIPAA laws prevented that last one, thankfully. She's escalating, our therapist said. This is common when strong boundaries are set with someone who's never experienced them before. She's testing to see if you'll break. We won't, Trevor said. Good, the therapist said, because if you break once, she'll know she can keep pushing. I was 28 weeks pregnant when Diane showed up at my office. My coworker came to my desk. There's a woman in the lobby asking for you. Says she's your mother-in-law? My heart sank. Tell her I'm in a meeting. She says she'll wait. I called Trevor. Your mother is at my office. I'm coming, he said. Trevor, you're an hour away. I'm coming, he repeated. Don't go down there. Stay in your office. Lock the door if you have to. I locked my office door. Watched the clock. My coworker texted. She's still waiting. She's been asking questions about you, about the pregnancy. I didn't tell her anything. 45 minutes later, Trevor arrived. I watched from my office window as he approached his mother in the parking lot. They argued. I couldn't hear words, but I saw gestures. Diane crying. Trevor standing firm. Finally, she got in her car and drove away. Trevor came up to my office. I'm sorry, he said. She won't do that again. What did you say to her? That if she ever shows up at your work again, I'm filing for a restraining order. That this is harassment. That she needs to respect our boundaries or lose all access to us and the baby. What did she say? That I'm being cruel, Trevor said. That she just wanted to see you, to make sure you were eating right and resting enough. She wanted to control me, I said. I know. My boss called me in the next day. I don't want to pry, she said carefully. But if you're dealing with family issues that might impact your safety at work, I need to know. I explained the situation. Boundaries, harassment, everything. If she shows up again, my boss said, we'll call security immediately. And the police if necessary. You shouldn't have to deal with this while pregnant. Thank you. Also, my boss said, when you go on maternity leave, I'll make sure the front desk knows not to give out any information about you. Not even to confirm you work here. Thank you, I said again, nearly crying. At 32 weeks, we had a scare. Early contractions. The doctor put me on bed rest for 2 weeks. Trevor worked from home to take care of me. Diane somehow found out. Probably called the hospital pretending to be me again. She showed up at our house with groceries and cleaning supplies. Trevor answered the door. You can't be here. You need help, Diane said, pushing past him. She's on bed rest. You're working. Who's taking care of things? We are, Trevor said. Let me just get out, Trevor said. Now. Diane looked past him to where I was lying on the couch. Sweetheart, you need someone to take care of you. Trevor can't do it all. My mother is coming tomorrow, I called out. We have help. I'm the grandmother, Diane said. I should be helping. You should be respecting our boundaries, Trevor said, which means leaving. Now. Trevor, please. I'm calling the police, Trevor said, pulling out his phone. If you're not gone in 30 seconds, I'm filing a report for harassment and trespassing. Diane stared at him. You would really call the police on your own mother? Try me. She left. Trevor filed for a restraining order the next day. Temporary protection order while the court date was scheduled. Diane was served papers at work. She called Trevor, screaming, a restraining order? Against your own mother? You wouldn't respect our boundaries, Trevor said. You showed up at my wife's work, at our home after being told not to. You're harassing us. I was trying to help. Help would be respecting what we've asked for, Trevor said. This is harassment. It stops now. The court date was set for 2 weeks later. We hired a lawyer, documented everything, the drive-bys, the showing up at my work, the attempts to access my medical records, the unwanted gifts, the harassment of our friends and family. Diane hired a lawyer too, showed up to court in black, like she was in mourning. The judge reviewed the evidence. Mrs. Diane, he said, can you explain why you went to your daughter-in-law's workplace after being asked not to contact her? I wanted to see her, Diane said, to make sure she was okay. She's pregnant with my grandchild. And when they asked you to stop driving by their house, I was just checking on them. And when they asked you not to send gifts? I'm the grandmother. I should be able to send gifts to my grandchild. The judge looked at her over his glasses. Ma'am, when someone sets a boundary, you respect it. You don't get to decide what boundaries are reasonable. The people setting them do. But I'm granting the restraining order, the judge said. 1 year. No contact with the petitioners unless they initiate it. No going within 500 feet of their home or workplaces. No attempts to contact them through third parties. Do you understand? Diane burst into tears. You're taking my son from me. Your son is an adult who set boundaries. The judge said. You refuse to respect them. This is the consequence. Court adjourned. Diane tried to approach Trevor in the hallway. Her lawyer stopped her, reminded her the order was already in effect. She stood there crying as we walked away. In the car, Trevor was quiet. You okay? I asked. I just got a restraining order against my mother, he said. You protected your family, I said. It doesn't feel good. It's not supposed to, I said. But it was necessary. Our daughter was born on November 12th, 8 pounds, 3 ounces. Perfect in every way. We named her Iris, after my grandmother. We didn't tell anyone for the first week. Just us, learning to be parents. Exhausted and overwhelmed and completely in love. When we finally announced her birth, we sent a group text to family. Iris Rose arrived safely. Everyone is healthy. We'll let you know when we're ready for visitors. My parents respected it. Sent congratulations, said to take our time. Trevor's aunt sent a lovely text. Congratulations. Can't wait to meet her when you're ready. Olivia sent flowers and a gift card for meal delivery. For when you're too tired to cook. Love you both. Diane didn't respond to the group text. But an hour later she showed up at the hospital. The nurse came to our room. There's a woman claiming to be the grandmother. I told her you weren't accepting visitors yet, but she's insisting. She has a restraining order, Trevor said. Call security. The nurse's eyes widened. Oh, okay. Security escorted Diane out. She was crying, making a scene, telling everyone that her son was keeping her from meeting her granddaughter. The hospital security called the police. Diane was arrested for violating the restraining order. Trevor's phone rang. His aunt. I'm at the police station with Diane. She violated the restraining order? She showed up at the hospital, Trevor said. We told her we weren't ready for visitors. Oh, Diane. His aunt sighed. Trevor, I'm sorry. I'll try to talk sense into her. Thanks, Trevor said. But I don't think it'll help. It didn't help. Diane spent a night in jail, was released with a court date for violating the order. The judge extended the restraining order to 3 years and added a clause. No contact at all, even if we initiate it. If we wanted to end the order early, we'd have to file paperwork. We didn't file paperwork. Iris was 3 months old when we got a letter from Diane's lawyer. She was suing for grandparent visitation rights. Our lawyer laughed when we showed him. She violated a restraining order, was arrested, and now wants court-ordered visitation? That's not going to go well for her. It didn't. The judge reviewed everything. The boundaries we'd set, the harassment, the restraining order violation, the arrest. Mrs. Diane, the judge said, grandparent rights exist to protect children from being cut off from loving grandparents when parents divorce or die. They don't exist to override parents' decisions about who has access to their children. But I'm her grandmother. You're a grandmother who violated a restraining order to see a newborn against her parents' wishes, the judge said. You've demonstrated a pattern of not respecting boundaries. Why would I grant you access to a child when you can't even respect her parents' basic requests? I love her. Love respects boundaries, the judge said. Petition denied. And Mrs. Diane, if you file this again, I'll consider it harassment and extend the restraining order further. Diane's lawyer looked embarrassed. Diane looked destroyed, but we were free. Iris is 2 now. Happy, healthy, thriving. She knows she has 2 grandmothers. My mother, who babysits every Friday, and Diane, who she's never met. Sometimes people ask about Trevor's mother. We say it's complicated. Most people don't push. Trevor's still in therapy, working through the guilt, the grief, the complicated feelings about cutting off his mother. Some days are harder than others. Do you think she'll ever change? He asked me once. I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe. If she gets help. If she does the work. And if she does, he asked, would you ever let her back in? I thought about it. With very strict boundaries, supervised visits only, and the first time she breaks a boundary, she's out again. That's fair, Trevor said. But honestly, I said, I don't think she will change. People like her rarely do. She'd have to admit she was wrong, that she hurt people, that she needs help, and I don't think she's capable of that. Yeah, Trevor said quietly. Me neither. Last month, Diane sent a letter. Not to us, to Trevor's aunt, asking her to pass it along. The aunt called first. Diane sent a letter for you. Do you want it? What does it say? Trevor asked. I didn't read it, his aunt said. It's sealed, but she asked me to give it to you. Said it's important. Okay, Trevor said. Send it. The letter arrived a week later. Trevor held it for 3 days before opening it. It was long, 6 pages, handwritten. It started with, I've been in therapy. I sat beside Trevor while he read, watched his face change, surprise, hope, doubt. When he finished, he handed it to me. Diane's letter was something. She acknowledged that she'd been overbearing, that she'd crossed boundaries, that she'd made mistakes. But, there's always a but. But I was only trying to help. But I was scared of losing my son. But I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. But you never explained it to me properly. Excuses, justifications, minimizing. She doesn't get it, I said. Parts of it sound good, Trevor said. She says she's been in therapy, that she's learning about boundaries. But she's still making excuses, I said. Still blaming us for not explaining things better. Still acting like her actions were justified because she meant well. Yeah, Trevor said. Has she apologized? I asked. Actually apologized without excuses? He read through the letter again. No, she says she's sorry I felt hurt. But not that she's sorry for what she did. Because she still doesn't think she did anything wrong, I said. Trevor crumpled the letter slowly. I wanted to believe she'd changed. I know, but she hasn't. No, I said. She's just learned therapy language. How to sound like she's self-aware without actually being self-aware. He threw the letter away. We didn't respond. Diane sent another letter a month later. This one angrier, saying we were cruel for ignoring her. That she'd done the work, gone to therapy, written that letter, and we couldn't even respond? The mask slipped, Trevor said. Yeah, he threw that letter away too. Now it's been 6 months since the last letter. Diane's been quiet. Trevor's aunt says she's dating someone, joined a book club, started volunteering at a senior center. Maybe she's actually building her own life, Trevor said. Maybe, I said. Do you think we'll ever reconcile? I don't know, I said honestly. That's up to her. If she can actually respect boundaries, if she can apologize without excuses, if she can put in the work to change, then maybe. And if she can't, then Iris grows up without a grandmother on your side, I said. And that's sad, but it's better than growing up watching her grandmother disrespect her parents. Kids learn from what they see. I don't want Iris to grow up thinking it's normal to let people cross boundaries. Then we're doing the right thing, I said. Trevor pulled me close. Thank you. For what? For seeing what I couldn't see, he said. For setting the boundary when I was too scared to. For standing firm even when it was hard. We're a team, I said. Yeah, he said. We are. Last week, Iris said her first sentence. Mama, up. We We celebrated. Called my parents, called Trevor's aunt. Posted a video on social media. Diane commented, "Beautiful granddaughter. I wish I could be there." Trevor deleted the comment, blocked her account. "She's never going to stop trying," I said. "No," Trevor agreed. "But she's never going to succeed either. Not until she actually changes. And if she never changes, then she chose this," Trevor said. "She chose control over connection. She chose manipulation over honesty. She chose to lose us rather than respect us." "That's sad." "Yeah," Trevor said, "it is. But here's the thing about setting boundaries with toxic people. It's not about punishment. It's not about revenge. It's not even about making them understand what they did wrong. It's about protecting yourself, your marriage, your family, your peace." Diane had every opportunity to be part of our lives, to be a grandmother, to have a relationship with her son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter. All she had to do was respect our boundaries. She couldn't do it. That's not our fault. That's not our failure. That's hers. And we're not going to sacrifice our happiness, our marriage, or our daughter's well-being just because Diane can't or won't change. Some people will call us cruel, say we're keeping a grandmother from her granddaughter, say family should forgive, say blood is thicker than water. Those people haven't lived with a mother-in-law who used her emergency key to move into their home without permission, who threw out their groceries, who went through their underwear drawer, who lied about floods and heart attacks and anything else she could think of to maintain control. Those people haven't had to get a restraining order against family, haven't been arrested for trying to see their newborn, haven't stood in a courtroom while a judge explained that love doesn't override boundaries. We did everything right. We communicated clearly. We set fair boundaries. We gave chances. We tried therapy. We offered paths to reconciliation. Diane chose not to take them. Trevor's sister called last week. "How are you guys doing?" "Good," Trevor said. "Really good." "I'm glad," Olivia said. "You sound lighter." "I feel lighter," Trevor said. "It's like, I didn't realize how much space Mom's drama was taking up in my head until it was gone. That's how I felt after my divorce," Olivia said. "Like I could finally breathe." "I'm sorry I didn't believe you before," Trevor said. "When you tried to warn me, you weren't ready to hear it," Olivia said. "I get that now. Still, I'm sorry. Just don't let Iris grow up thinking Grandma's behavior was normal," Olivia said. "That's all I ask." "Never," Trevor promised. "We're teaching Iris about boundaries already, in age-appropriate ways. Teaching her that no means no, even with family, that her body is hers, that she doesn't have to hug or kiss anyone she doesn't want to. My mother respects it. When Iris doesn't want a hug goodbye, my mom says, 'That's okay. Can I have a high five instead?' And Iris lights up, happy to have the choice. That's what good grandparents do. They respect the child, the parents, the boundaries. Diane never learned that. Maybe she never will. But we're building something better for Iris. A family where boundaries are respected, where no means no, where love doesn't come with strings attached. And if that means growing up without one grandmother, so be it. She has one grandmother who loves her without conditions, who respects her parents, who shows up when invited and leaves when asked. That's enough. Trevor still has hard days. Days when he misses his mom. Not the mom she actually is, but the mom he wishes she could be. "I grieve her sometimes," he told me. "Not because she's gone, but because she was never who I needed her to be." "That's valid," I said. "I wanted a mother who could be happy for me," he said. "Who could celebrate my marriage without feeling threatened by it. Who could be a grandmother without trying to be a third parent." "You deserve that." "But I didn't get it." "No," I said. "You didn't. And that's not your fault. Some people are born into families that love them well. Some people have to build their own families, find their people, create the love they needed but never received." Trevor's building that now. With me, with Iris, with my parents who've adopted him as their own, with his aunt and his sister who understand boundaries and respect them. We're building something good, something healthy, something worth protecting, even if it means keeping Diane out. Iris will grow up knowing she's loved, knowing she's valued, knowing that boundaries are important and should be respected. She'll know that love isn't about control. It's about freedom, about choosing to stay, not being forced to. And maybe someday, if Diane ever does the work, we can revisit things. Can consider supervised visits with strict boundaries. Can give her one more chance. But that's a distant maybe, a far-off possibility. For now, we're happy, healthy, safe, and that's what matters. My mother-in-law used her emergency key to move into our guest room while we were on our honeymoon. It ended with a restraining order, therapy, and the healthiest boundaries I've ever set in my life. Was it worth it? Every single day. Because I'd rather have a small family that respects me than a large family that doesn't. I'd rather have peace than proximity. I'd rather have boundaries than abuse. And I'd rather teach my daughter that she deserves respect than teach her to accept whatever family dishes out. Trevor's mother chose control over connection. That was her choice. We chose peace over guilt. That was ours. And we'd make the same choice again, every single time.